Hello everyone, Lloyd and Day here, and we're going to wrap up Professor Layton and the Curious Village tonight. We finished up the main story in the last stream, so now we just need to go to Lady Riddleton's place, solve all the puzzles, figure out what all the gizmos do, and sort all those broken, not broken, but the torn painting pictures. So, let's get started, shall we? Hope everyone's been having a nice day. Sorry I didn't stream the other day also. Just, right now I'm going to be working on summer hours, so to speak. So, streaming right now is going to depend upon how well I feel. Because I get heat stroke easy. And even though my room is in the basement of our home, it's still hot. So, there's going to be times where the heat's just going to get me so much that I don't want to stream. Alright, story so far. Yep, we already know all this. If you guys haven't seen what happened, I would recommend you all see the last Professor Layton stream and get yourself caught up. Alright, so, what do we do first? We can either do the scraps first, the gizmos first, or puzzles first. You know what? Let's sprinkle it around a little bit. Let's do some puzzles first. So, we're gonna go to Lady Riddleton's. Ooh, quite a bit. I guess change just changes the amount? Turn it up a little bit. There we go. May as well go in number order. Number 18. Of Dust and Dustpan. Of Dust and Dustpan. Let's see. As you can see, what we've got here is some trash and a dustpan made of matchsticks. Can you move 2 matchsticks to change the picture so the dustpan is holding the trash? Yes, it's... So that it's holding the trash. So it's this trash pile right here. And it's probably got to be the exact same shape, but angled differently. Oh! Wait a minute. There. And... there? It looks like a trash pan. Bingo! Easy 10 pick rats right off the bat. I did fail hard those last streams at the start where I would just bomb. That's correct. Do your part to keep Saint Mystere clean. And do your part to keep where you live clean too. Don't be a jerk and spit on the street or sidewalk or toss your garbage willy-nilly. Just put your trash in your pocket till you get home and just toss it then. Alright. A hand-woven rug. Where will it go? I don't know. So, we're gonna do this. Heads Layton, tails Luke. Tails. Yes, it's tails. Let's go to Luke. Sorry, I have one of those unique orders, so I couldn't tell what was heads or tails that time. Let's see. The next one would be number 21. Ruru! Good to see you! Pill prescription. Right now, we're cleaning up the remainder of Professor Layton. And I'm doing well. I hope you're doing good, too. I hope, weather's fine, because weather is hot as all hell over here. A man has been... oh, no, please don't be a math problem. A man has been prescribed 10 pills. Starting today, he must take 1 pill a day. But because the concentration of the medicine is different in each pill, he must take them in a specific order. Since the pills all look the same, the man has decided to write numbers on each pill to help him remember the order he needs to take them in. How many pills does he have to number if he wants to keep track of the order? Dang, I'm the opposite of my place. It has been raining lots and lots, man. Oh my god, I would love some good full-fashioned rain over here. We haven't had rain for what? Maybe 2 weeks? It's a dry spell over here. Dry spell, humid. I have to get my butt outside every day to water the garden. Ugh. Alright, so. Can I doodle? Yes, I can doodle. It's clear. The man is assigned the right numbers on each pill to help him remember the order he needs to take them in. He must take 1 pill a day. Each pill, he must take them in a specific order. How many pills does he have to number if he wants to keep track of the order? But they all... This is very vague. I'm gonna need a hint. If the man wants to indicate the order in which he needs to take his pills, he just needs to write a number on each of the 10 pills. Well, that's true. The bare minimum of numbers he needs to write is fewer than 10. Think about how he can accomplish this. Okay. Fewer than 10. Wait a minute. Would he not have to number all of them? Like, let's say he doesn't mark this one. Then he labels this as day 2. Then he doesn't do it for this one. But then labels this for 4. Then the same process goes for 6. 8. 10. That way, as soon as he takes the pill that's not marked, he knows he has to look for number 2 for the next day. And then for the next day after that, he can just go for an unmarked pill. And then the next day, he can go for the number 4. So, marked pills would be 5? Uh-oh. I don't know if it's gonna register. Ah! Thank you. 5.
Luke, here's my answer.
No, it's not.
Oh, how embarrassing.
What conditions will allow you to get away with labeling fewer than all 10 pills? So it's gotta be lower than 5. Oh, and the game took pity on me and only took away 3. I was thinking like it would take away 5. What condition can be met that would be the fewest pills being marked? Oh, by the way, Ruru, feel free to chime in with your puzzle responses. Because I'm probably not going to be able to figure out a lot of these. I mean, anyone can solve them. This is for fun. But this one's already... This is only puzzle number 2 for the day, and I'm already stumped. Sure, I'll try my best. So it's gotta be lower than 5. I need another hint. When you have 2 visually identical items, you only need to mark one of them. Therefore, you don't need to mark each pill to tell them apart. I just did that! I'm just in the, just woke up morning mode at the moment. Okay, no problem. Make yourself some coffee or something to help you wake up. I'm pretty sure puzzles are not the best way to wake up in the morning. When you have 2 visually identical items, you only need to mark one of them. Therefore, you don't need to mark each pill to tell them apart. Okay, so we go back to this. But apparently that's not correct. What if you turn the pill around. But how would that help in the end? Alright, clear. So, don't mark this one. Then you turn this around. So, blue's on the bottom, white's on top. That way it would be identified as number 2. Then this would be day 3. Turn around. 4. Then this stays, because that'll be for the next day. Then the next day, turned around. Actually, come to think of it, scribble this out. Yeah, I wonder if that's the key thing here. If you're able to turn the pill around, have it going like blue on top, white on bottom, white on top, blue on bottom, blue on top, white on bottom, yada 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 yada. You'll be having an alternating order. That way you know what to do. So 0?
Luke, here's my answer.
Nope. Damn it, I'm gonna need the third hint, aren't I?
Ashamed.
Urgh. Alright, give me hint number 3. Keep in mind that the man must start taking his pills today. In fact, he's going to start by taking the pill right in front of him. If that's the case, does he really need to mark which pill he's going to take today? You... So... How was I supposed to know this? Alright, so he doesn't need to mark this one, so X that. So... Then he takes the one for the next day. And then skip. And that. And that. And that. Wait a minute. Oh, and you wouldn't need to mark the last one because you'd have the last pill. So then you do that. You would only need to mark 4.
Luke, here's my answer.
Well, at first you don't succeed, and you know that you're not going to lose any more pick-rats. Time to start punching in random numbers. I have absolutely no shame. Let's try 3. I am curious as to know why. Nope, not that either.
Oh.
Dang, this is quite confusing. It is confusing! Alright, so let's try 2.
That should do it.
Not 2.
I suppose I thought wrong.
Well, you're gonna be you're gonna be thinking a lot wrong, because I'm just gonna keep plugging in numbers. Let's try 6.
That should do it.
Oh,
Frankly,
Mulligan! Let's try 1. Not 2. I said 1.
Luke, here's my answer.
And it's not 1. Okay. The next number along this line is 7. And again, I have no shame in doing this whatsoever. Because I'm getting nothing negative happening to me.
That should do it.
Not 7.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Okay, 8. Because you wouldn't have to mark the first one, you wouldn't have to mark the last one. But technically, you can still flip the pill around.
Do it.
Alright, that's probably what the answer is then.
Thinking is the key to success.
Good job. Since the man is to start taking his medicine today, the first thing he should do is take today's pill. Next, he should label the pills for days 2 through 9. If he does this, he shouldn't have to label the pill for the last day. It'll be only one without a label. He only needs to label 8 pills. Also, holy god damn in hell, look at the size of those pills. These are like elephant pills. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you, dude? Thank God they aren't suppositories. So yeah, the answer was because you start your day at day 1, you don't actually have to mark your first pill as day 1. You can just take it right then and there. Then you just do 2 to 9. And then when you're on your last day, you're down to your last pill, so you don't have to put 10 on it. Alright, so next is number 23. Juice pitchers. Wait a minute. I missed the juice pitcher puzzle? Okay. Well, oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I had that buggy stream last time. This was a puzzle that I missed. Now I just gotta remember how you did this. And he wants 4. Wait. Divide the 8 quarts as juice at the bowl. Yeah, exactly 4 quarts. Alright. So. There we go. That's done.
That should do it.
Oh no, not these kinds of questions. Yeah, but this kind of question I already figured out from a past stream, but then I got borked. Like, really bad. So I had to, like, do some, coverage. Oh! Wait a minute, I'm missing a lot more puzzles then, not just in Lady Brilliant's place. Oh, we're gonna do some exploring around town. Alright, so, what is next? Number 24. Milk pitchers! Is it the same thing as juice pitchers? I mean, I like me some milk. Yes, it is! On the counter, we have a 10-quart pitcher full of milk, an empty 7-quart pitcher, and an empty 3-quart pitcher. The pitchers are unmarked, and your task is to divide the 10 quarts of milk so that both the 10-quart pitcher and the 7-quart pitcher are each holding exactly 5 quarts. Or, better answer, give me the whole 10-quart thing of milk, and I'll drink it right then and there. Because I like me some milk. So let's try dividing it this way first. Alright. Then we'll move this here. Okay, then there. Okay. Alright. They're holding exactly 5. Anyway, I could split this better? Pretty much ring around the rosy with the same 10 thing of milk. 10 quarts of milk, that is. I'm only doing this, repeating myself. Alright, let's try this again. And then we're back to this issue again. Okay. Alright, we're at 1 here. If I pour that into here, I'm just gonna end up with 7 again. Move the 1 Wait a minute. Yes, got it.
I think I've got it.
Woohoo! This puzzle
Yes.
has been utterly defeated. If you keep at it long enough, you'll eventually come across a solution. The shortest possible move solution requires 9 moves. Damn it, I had 12. Another strange gizmo. Alright, next puzzle is number 31. Racetrack riddle. Ooh, looking at this, I already don't like it. The distance 3 racehorses can run around the racetrack in 1 minute is listed below. Horse A, 2 laps. Horse B, 3 laps. Horse C, 4 laps. The horses line up at the starting line and start running in the same direction. How many minutes will pass before all 3 horses line up at the starting line again? Alright. How many minutes now? So 2 laps in 1 minute, 3 laps in 1 minute, and 4 laps in 1 minute. This sounds like a multiplication problem sort of deal. My brain is telling me 12. It's going to take 12 minutes for them to do their run before they meet up again. Because by the time he gets a lap, 2 laps in, he's only halfway in. Alright, so let me just think here. The starting line again. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at laps, so I need to convert that somehow into minutes. So, let's see here. This is the one we have to keep our brain locked on with. Because he needs to do 12 laps for this to work. So let's see. Can I? Yes, I can write. So, if we say 3 minutes, because 3 minutes will be 12 laps. Okay, that's 3 laps in 1 minute. Yeah, 2, 3. And 3 minutes would be 9. And 3 and 2 is 6. But I don't think it's going to work that way. Because you have to remember, they all start the same line. So by the time he's done with his first 2 laps in a minute, he's only gotten, I'd say, 1.5. I'm getting a headache. Line up at the starting line again. Because the problem is, if I want this to be 12 laps, it would have to be 6 minutes. And for this one, it would have to be 4 minutes for it to happen. And for this one, it would have to be 3 minutes for this to happen. Which they wouldn't line up. Alright, I gotta be quiet for a little bit here because I'm really mentally trying to figure this one out. Hey Jet, how are you doing? You just caught us finishing up Professor Layton with the Curious Village. Right now we have a doozy of a puzzle. And this puzzle is definitely kicking my ass. And I can't call these things asses because they are horses, not donkeys. My issue, though, is they can get to 12 laps, but the time does not equal up. Wait, did I just do this backwards? Yeah. So, 3 minutes times 4 laps becomes 12 laps. And then this one is 3 laps times 4 minutes, which equals 12. And this one is 2 laps times 6 minutes passing becomes 12. But maybe I'm focusing on 12 too much? Because you compare this to this, by the time it does 3 minutes, it won't line up with that. Oh, Jet, you think you see it? Tell me the answer. I don't mind you telling me the answer for this kind of deal. Maybe focus on a different lap instead of 12, since the minutes we have for now doesn't add up. That's what I'm thinking of. So what else do 2, 3, and 4 have in common with? 15, 18, no, not 20. It'll be 24. So let's mark 24 at the corner here. Curse my mouse handwriting. Let's see. That would be 6 minutes for that. That'll be 12. That'll be 12 minutes for this. And 8 minutes for this. No matter what, the minutes are not going to line up with each other. So the goal is to find how many minutes before the horses are all on the starting line. Correct. Somewhere along the line where they're doing these laps, they're all going to wind up on the line again. So maybe I'm overthinking. It's not how many total laps, it's how many minutes are going to pass to where they actually start up at the line again before they start finishing whatever they're racing. Okay. So maybe 12 is good. Horse A completes 2 laps in 1 minute. B does 3 per minute. C does 4 per minute. Yes. Meaning there's got to be a connection between these 3 numbers. They're all whole number of laps. Correct. If we say 3 minutes, like I was going with, maybe 12. have done 9. And it does 6 laps. Within 1 minute, they will have each completed a certain number of laps. This one does 2, this one does 3, and this one's 4. Wait a minute. So even if the number of laps is always going to be different, by that time, they'll have started up again here, and then it would just repeat itself. So the answer must be 3 minutes. Right? You don't think it's 3. Okay. 4 laps in a minute. Because by the time he does his 2 laps, he'll have only done half his laps. So he would actually need 2 minutes to do this horse's 1 minute. And it would be a minute and a half for here for it to have lined up. Question, can the inputted answer include decimals? No. No, it cannot. So it's going to be a whole number. My gut's still telling me 3 minutes. If we still go by 3 minutes, this will have done 6, this will have done 12. In 1 minute, Horseye will complete 2 laps. Yes. Every 1 minute, they complete these laps. And this is why I'm saying that no matter how we spit a number for how many minutes, the laps for these horses will never sync up, like ever. Where will horses B and C after 1 minute? Okay. Let's see. So after 1 minute, it's 2 laps. Wouldn't they be in the same line? Nah, because when horses race, they race alongside each other. The horses line up at the starting line and start running in the same direction. Are we overthinking? I'm so confused. How many minutes will pass before they line up at the starting line again? I'm underthinking. Don't know about you guys. Hey, Vay, how you doing? I hope work was good today. Time to use a hint coin. Someone in a hurry might jump to the conclusion that you need to find the lowest common multiple between the 3 numbers. The game note reads me like a book. Read the problem over again and see if you can't clear things up for yourself. Okay. The distance 3 racehorses can run around the racetrack in 1 minute is listed below. Okay. The horses line up at the starting line and start running in the same direction. How many minutes will pass before all 3 horses line up at the starting line again? The 3 horses each run at different speeds. To measure the horses' speeds, the problem tells you how many laps each horse can do in 1 minute. The horses all run whole laps per minute, so at least you don't have to deal with strange speeds. That doesn't help me, game. Thank you very much. I'm glad I have coins to burn. Yes, Chet, please. I don't mind if you tell me. I am a dummy with this kind of deal. One minute. Oh, god damn it, now I get it. So no matter what, 1 minute, it'll do 4 laps. 1 minute, 3 laps. 1 minute, 2 laps. Regardless, they all start up here again. Ah. It doesn't matter how many laps they do. When they're done with their laps, they all start at the line again. Oh, God, I'm an idiot!
Luke, here's my answer.
Jet, nice job. Nice job. You got it. In 1 minute, horse A will have done 2 laps. B will have done 3. C will have done 4. And all the horses will line up at the starting line. I looked too far into the question. Ah! We got a strange gizmo. Son of a gun. Man, Jet, you are a smarty pants. Alright. I remember a variant to this problem in that puzzle book I had as a kid. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Sometimes some puzzle things like that from like way beyond can surprise you. But yeah, I remember for puzzles there's supposed to be 120, so there's definitely going to be some in town we missed. Number 42. The camera and case. Involve 2 streams that will collide in 1 hour, and a fly traveling 50 miles per hour between the That is a fast fly! While walking through a market on vacation, you notice a small stand selling cameras. A camera and case set is selling for $310. This smells like a math question! The seller tells you that the camera costs $300 more than the case itself, and that the case costs the price of the set minus the cost of the camera. You decide you'd rather wait on buying a camera and opt to just buy the case alone. You hand the seller a $100 bill and see his eyes light up. Think fast now. How much change should you be getting back? Oh, the question was, how many miles does the fly before getting squished between the trains? That's a morbid question! Holy crap! Alright. A camera and case set is selling for $310. So, both equal $310. Holy crap. Cameras these days aren't even that expensive, I don't think. And it looks like a basic shutter camera, too. The seller tells you that the camera costs $300 more than the case itself. And that the case costs the price of the set minus the cost of the camera. This is where I'm getting tripped up. High-end cameras are costly. Yes, that is true. But something as common as this kind of camera? that you just put in a little pocket can't be like $310. Even the new camera my mom got was like, what, $180? Something like that? I have to ask her. You'd rather wait on buying a camera and opt to just buy the case alone. You hand the seller a $100 bill and see his eyes light up. How much change should you be getting back? The camera costs $300 more than the case itself. So the case is supposed to be $10? So the case equals $10. And that the case costs the price of the set minus the cost of the camera. If case equals X, the camera equals 300 plus X. Well, from what I read, case is going to be $10. I want to say $90, but I feel like I'm walking into a trap. So it tells you. So the total cost of the set is 300 plus X plus X. So the seller tells you that the camera costs 300 more than the case itself. And that the case costs the price of the set minus the cost of the camera. Which would mean the case is $10. Right? $10 is a trap. Yeah, it's the wording of this is super tricky. The camera costs 300 more than the case itself, and that the case costs the price of the set minus the cost of the camera. I feel like the set price ought to be different than the price of them alone, but that's not stated anywhere. If the case was $10, then the camera would be 300 plus 10, which is that's how I'm seeing it. But something about the wording of this just feels dirty. Like he's trying to skim you. They state that the case is the price of the set minus the price of the camera. They don't indicate that the set is a bargain. Is the case not worth anything? Am I not going to get any change at all from this? This is indeed a pickle. Not a pickle in a cup, but is indeed a pickle. Yeah, we don't know outright how much the case is. Try calculating the cost of the set in the case, where $10 is the cost of the case. Okay. Since you missed my earlier I read everything! If the case were $10, then the camera would be $300 plus 10. They state that the case is the price of the set minus the price of the camera. They don't indicate that the set is a bargain. The camera costs $300. $300 more than the case itself. Alright. The case costs the price of the set, $310, minus the cost of the camera. Which still gives you 10. But 10 is a trap. But why is it a trap? They didn't say the cost of the camera was $300. You're right. Because if anything, it could be like $200 or $400. It's just saying it costs $300 more than the case itself. It could be way more expensive. They said the cost of the camera was $300 plus case cost. I've read this question so many damn times, it's now starting to fade into the void. 300 plus x equals 310. It would be like 300 plus 0 would be 300, and then plus 10 is 10, which means the case shouldn't cost anything. You're giving him free money. You're not getting anything, buddy.
That should do it.
Really?
Frankly, I'm ashamed.
Get shortchanged. Ugh. No, the two have to be equal. This is how bad I am at math. The two x have to be equal. Oh, so 300 plus 5 would be 305. Plus x would equal 310. So then you should get 95 back? Because the case would be $5?
That should do it.
There it is.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
Good thinking. That merchant had an awfully misleading way of explaining things, didn't he? Make sure you don't get duped by some swindler next time you go out shopping. What did one math book say to the other? Burn me? Maybe? Burn me? If you guys take me to do any kind of heavy-duty online shopping or something, do yourselves a favor and don't take me at all, because I will get swindled out of my money. Don't bother me, I've got my own problems. That's pretty cute, May. Oh, that was a dirty puzzle. Alright, number 43. 3 umbrellas. I think I remember this one. 3 identical-looking umbrellas are sitting upright in a stand. Assuming the owners don't check their umbrellas' labels because they can't read, what percentage chance is there that only 2 people walk off with their own umbrella? I'm going to give you guys a moment because I know this answer. This puzzle from years and years ago stuck with me. Like, stuck to me like glue, covered in gum, covered in adhesive. He has a few more moments before I give you the answer. And I will explain before I even give my answer. Alright, answer time. The answer is 0. It is impossible for that outcome to happen. Because if 2 people have their umbrellas, no matter what, the last umbrella is belonging to the correct person. 0%. And this puzzle is what taught me to always look deep into a lot of these puzzles.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
That's right. If 2 people manage to grab their own umbrellas, the third person is left with only 1 umbrella to take. Her own! It's impossible for only 2 of the 3 to pick up their own umbrellas. I was screaming at myself all those years ago about why? Why isn't 1? Why isn't it 1? I'll give the bed to Luke. Unless 1 forgets to grab an umbrella. That's true too, but we're splitting hairs on that one. Number 44. Stamp Stumper. Ooh, it's 50. Ooh, when I even look at the question, this looks ugly. Your friend just got back from the post office where she purchased a sheet of stamps with values ranging from 10 cents to $1. This doesn't exist. When you buy stamps, you get them as a set. You don't get them in different increments. First, your friend cut out the $1 stamp and set it aside. Then she divided the remaining stamps into 7 uniquely shaped bunches, each with a total value of $1. Can you divide this sheet of stamps the same way your friend did? Oh, okay, this has nothing to do with with math. A little tiny bit of math, but this is just cutting stuff out. Alright. The big problem is that 90. That glaring 90 right there. Alright. 10 and 20 is 30, and 70 makes $1. Okay. 30 and 40 is 70, 80, 90, $1. Right there. Let's see. 60 and 20 is 80. And 10 and 10. But I don't want to do that because that squishes the 30 and the 20. I need to take care of them first. 20 is 40. 40 and 30. 70. Already can't be. That 80 can't make 100. Ooh, you're right. Good eye, Vay. Very good eye. So let's try this way instead. And then here. And try to work from here. I guess try to work as best inward as possible. Because right now we got two cutouts. 20 is 40 and 10 is 50. Plus the 50 becomes $1. 10 and 60 is 70 and 30 is $1. 20 and 30 is 50. 50 and 10 is 60. Oh, that leaves me short. Shoot! So how about just there? 30 and 10 is 40. 40 and 40 is 80. 80 and 20 is $1. Oh, I almost had it! Dang! 10 towards 30. 30. Okay. 60. No. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Alright, so double check. This is $1. This is $1. This is $1. So that's $3. 40. 4. 10, 20, 30. 30 and 10 is 40. 40 and 60 is $1. That's 5. 30, 60, 90, 10 is $1. That makes 6. And 90, 10. Got it!
Luke, here's my answer.
I'm good at math!
Another puzzle.
Don't quote me on that either. I can make $1! Well done! There are several ways to divide all the stamps into $1 groups, but this is the only way where the groups all form different shapes. Math genius! That's right! I at least know how to add up to $1. Number 55. The odd sandwich. I like me a sandwich. Speaking of sandwich, because I was in someone else's stream today, do you guys happen to have a Blimpies where you guys live? There's one in my old town I used to live in, and I don't know if it's still there, but holy crap, their sandwiches were absolute heaven. 10 times better than Subway, or Wawa, or Quick Check. Using scraps left over from your breakfast, you've managed to cobble together a rather oddly shaped sandwich. How many times must you cut the sandwich in order to make it fit neatly in the container? Easy. You don't have to cut it at all. You just shove the sucker right in there. Doesn't say it has to be perfect. Alright, so looks like we're dealing with oblong shapes. Is there any way I can make this into a rectangle? Also, who cuts their sandwich like this? Or who has bread shaped like this to be able to cobble up together a sandwich? It does say it has to be neat. Yeah, fit neatly in the container. I feel like squishing it in there would make it not neat. It would... Hey, instead of a sandwich, you would have a sandwich, but you just need a fork. Just get a fork and knife and just munch out of there instead of holding it like a sandwich. It would still work out. What happens if I cut along here? Cut along there and there. These two look like they would actually fit together, but then I'm left with this oblong shape, which won't work. But if I cut it once along here, can I do something then? Alright, if I trying to do a mental image of this is going to be tricky. Flip this up. No. I need it. I need the shape to be able to kind of go from there and then sock it into it and then be able to fit it. Wait a minute. What about here? But I think that, no, that wouldn't fit. It's gotta be long. And Jet, once again, thinks they see the answer. Though for me, I'm not seeing it quite just there yet. But I still think it has something to do. Like, if there's a way I could just section this part off and then just adjust it to where it will fit here. Like, this corner can just move right to there. It would be protruding, wouldn't it? Sorry about looking like this, but I need to see it at this kind of angle. Yeah, it's not the right shape. I would literally need it to be like a triangle in order for it to be pushed into there. So if the picture is to scale, then the top horizontal crust is wider than the case, and the bottom horizontal crust is narrower than the case. Yeah, because if you, like, cut it along here, well, I did that in bad justice. Like, this side here would probably fit, most likely, because it looks like this will be too big, because if you line it up this way, and then you do a line this way, what if you were able to lay the sandwich on its crust side? Because looking like just laying the sandwich from its position now into there isn't going to work. Whereas going long ways here is about the same length. So instead of trying to lay it down the position it's in, we need to turn it and then work from there. Yeah, you see what I mean, though? Because the one part is too big for over here, but at least if you have it on the side, you can just... Oh, message being checked by mods. What the heck? What happened? Huh. So with that one long cut, the one long piece is the same length as the box, but is narrower. Okay, seriously? Today has been weird with mod stuff. I got a message blocked because I said Girl Scout cookies were not that good. Girl Scout cookies! What could be blocked from that? So with that long cut, the one long piece is box, but it's narrower. Yes. which I had just came to a realization of before I allowed the message to go in. Still doesn't make sense doing it that way. Honestly, we also don't know what the depth of the container is. Like, we could fit it on its side, no problem, but... Yeah, depth would definitely be making a difference in this kind of puzzle. Also, I was just thinking about this. Wouldn't you be able to cut the sandwich, like, through the middle, flip it around, and then just socket the two pieces and just fit it in there? Kind of like that one cake puzzle from Catriel Layton. Grab a hint. Have you thought of turning the sandwich to get a fresh perspective on the puzzle? It may sound slightly ridiculous, but if you do it right, you might be surprised at how everything comes together. We already figured that out, though. But they don't mention the depth. I'd assume that doesn't make a difference for the purpose of this puzzle. True. So, alright, I'm going to use this coaster. If we turn it onto its side, it slides in perfectly. So then, if we cut along here, lay that part on its side, bring this because I'm trying to see if... Yeah, we'd only just have to do it once. That way, if we do it onto its side, we could slide it in, and then the other pieces can just be slid in too. We're not trying to make it into a one-hole sandwich. We're just trying to fit it into the container. So we're just going to be cutting the piece one side so that the one perfectly rectangular side can fit right in, and then the other side, that's the exact same length, can still fit on the other side of the container next to it. So it'll all fit, right? Because even measuring wise, this is about equal to where this and this are. So it should still fit. So you know what? I'm just going to say one cut.
There we go.
Yeah! Yes! Whoa! The puzzle step, once you see how the sandwich's protruding edges fit together. Okay! The correct answer, but way incorrect process of elimination. You know what? Puzzle solved. I didn't get pick rats taken away. I'm taking it as a win. Oh, Jay went late. What? That doesn't look right. Yeah, that cut just looks weird. It doesn't look like it would segment that way. It just, like, I don't know. Puzzle's over with, so yeah, that's just weird. Gotta remember, though, that this was a DS game from 15 years ago, so what are we gonna do? They were going for that. Why did they use the shape box? Unless the screen is stretched for some reason. It's not that much stretched. In a hole. A tennis ball has rolled its way down into a hole. This particular hole is extremely deep and has a sharp bend in the middle, making the ball impossible to retrieve by hand. To make matters worse, the ground around the hole is made of hard clay, so digging the ball out isn't an option. However, you have something incredibly commonplace on hand that you can use to get the ball out. What do you use to get the ball out? Answer in 5 letters. I already know it, because this is a common puzzle. Again, I will give you guys a moment to ponder. I thought I knew it, but durian is 6 letters. Gross. Yeah, I have no idea. Alright, so I think this is enough time to pass. Because people could also be in the VOD and just pause and just think. The answer is this. Whoop. Water!
That should do it. Every puzzle has an answer.
That's correct. Theoretically, you could use any liquid in which tennis balls can float, but water is the liquid you most likely have handy. Since the ground is hard clay, there's little chance of the water getting absorbed into the surrounding earth. The ball should come up with little difficulty. Violin goes to Layton. Like the experiment with the crows and the stones. Ah, wow, wow, that just dug up something fierce in my brain. I forgot that experiment was a thing. Jeez, I remember that from, like, high school. Alright, now we gotta start clicking. Although, that was nice for finding a, coin. We gotta try and find the remaining puzzles in town. Not even the Layton-mobile can make it over the river, huh? But of course, much as I adore the contraption, it is just a car after all. Look, our little exchanges remind me of a wonderful puzzle about cars. Why don't you give it a try? Beep, beep. Parking lot gridlock. Ew, it's one of these. The Layton-mobile, the professor's pride and joy. I just saw a video that mentioned it. Right now, the thing about crows I know of is they've now learned to pick up garbage, put it in a machine, and they get birdseed as payment. So my brain was primed, and yet I failed. Hey, even if you failed at one puzzle, you have been on fire with these. Is stuck behind several other cars trying to exit a crowded parking lot. Things are so tight, though, that each car can only move forward and backward with respect to the direction it's currently facing. Your style is to direct traffic and guide the professor's red car to the exit. You know what this looks like? This looks like all the parking garages and stuff in downtown Newark. Because I live like a town or two over where downtown Newark is, and they have so much parking and these weird machines to stack up cars to where I am so paranoid that these cars are going to come crashing down that this does not look very abstract to me. Also, it looks like they can only move in certain directions. Okay. Almost there. Sort of almost there. Crap! Restart. Alright, good. Problem is, I can't get this one fully down, so that's gonna be a problem. That offered no help to me whatsoever. This will, though. Freedom!
Well, here's my guess.
Beep beep, I'm a cheap, I'm a fat, blip blip. Almost said something I didn't want to. Good job clearing out traffic. Now try to solve this puzzle again in the fewest number of movements possible. If you're really good, you should be able to do so in 14 moves. Well, that takes care of the puzzle, but I do wonder when I'll be able to get back to my automobile. Another gizmo. Speaking of gizmo, I think it's a good time to find out what the hell these gizmos are. Jeepers! I did not see the mystery machine in there. Jeepers is unqualified for a response. The gizmos you've gathered around St. Mystere are all lined up on the touchscreen. Tap one to snap it into place. Just what are you constructing, you ask? That's a secret. Okay. Looks like I'm making some kind of dog. Oh! I just click on him. That's lame. I want to have fun and try to piece this thing together myself. Or make some kind of god-awful abomination. No fair. I wanted my own Build-A-Pet on my own. I wanted to make it a freak of nature and scare all the kids in the neighborhood. It looks... I'm probably missing an ear. Damn. Alright, and then we got the painting. Touch a piece of the painting, go to a screen where you can place your selected piece. You can also enter the placement screen by tapping the yellow arrow at the top of the selection screen. Well, it's still an abomination to me. Return to the selection screen from the placement screen at any time by tapping switch. Move pieces on the placement screen with your stylus. Grab the piece in the circle that appears and slide the piece around. If you touch a piece outside the circle, you can rotate the piece by drawing a circle with your stylus. Find all 20 pieces and reassemble the picture. When you put the whole painting back together, something good will happen. Maybe it's cookies. I wouldn't mind cookies. I mean, I like puzzles as much as the next guy, so I gotta kind of go by rule of thumb of work with the corners first. This may not even be the correct corners, but right now let's just worry about trying to connect what we can connect. Where's the last end piece? Here. Okay. Now, let's focus on the lighter shade. Okay. And this looks like it's a window. So I'm wondering if this needs to be moved over here. Right there. Let's see. This one? Ah! Kaze! Damn it! You just scared the crap out of me! Good to see you, Kaze. I hope you are doing well. It's not the right piece. Maybe this one? As you can see, we're, finishing up stuff. Huh, and that wasn't the right piece. That goes there. How odd. It's not that one either? What? How is this not the right one? I hope your evening is finding you well. This may not be the most exciting thing in the world, but, I like me some puzzles. Trying to see by color and by ripped hair where these things go. Oh, wait, there we go. So maybe this one. No. Right there. Okay. Looks like I might need to rotate this entire thing. Crap. Okay. Okay, that's rotated well. Still weird. I have all the corner pieces, yet it seems one corner piece doesn't fit right. No! Get my corner piece back. Yeah, that just does not seem to want to fit in that corner, and I don't know why. Unless there's more than one photo and I am not aware of it. Maybe it's still in the wrong corner. You might be right about that, actually. Because we don't know if the whole window part is actually in the correct spot or not. Alright, what do we have in the way of light brown? Or actually, just go with more window. So that goes there. What's next? That one. Move this there. Okay, oh no, we gotta move it over again. Crap. There are 20 pieces fitting in a 4x5 grid. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, all the pieces are definitely here then. But now I know that this needs to be shifted because now that I see curtain, it would stand to reason. Curtains go up and down, not left and right, and certainly not from the ceiling. Gotta get some of the pieces back. Oh, please don't tell me I have to turn this thing around again. You know what? Get all the pieces in here first before I lose my damn mind. If we're making an upside down portrait, guess what? We're making an upside down freaking portrait. just means I'm making myself have a challenge. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Ah! Damn it! Get over there. I was gonna say... Oh, crap! Kaze, thank you for 5 tier 1 subs. Let me give you a quick shout out. Thank you, friend.
I don't know. My viewers haven't made clips for me in a while, so I'm just happy when it happens. Most of the time I have to go through and make the damn clips. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're just lame. So, I shouldn't have done that because I made it one step harder for myself.
Yeah, the top left bar is subs, though I am still kind of learning stuff, and I don't really usually have too many subs anyway. So, I don't mind putting that Five Nights at Freddy's redeem as a reward, because I kind of hope it doesn't reach that. Chaos may be that. Me whining about not having new clips. Hey! Sometimes, well, it's true. You kind of do need to have clips, but look at me. I haven't added new clips in weeks. You can't force it, and yep, this painting is definitely upside down. Yep, definitely not the correct angling. I hope it counts regardless. Congratulations, it's a one-of-a-kind upside-down painting. Just hope no one thinks about turning it around, it'll lose its value. I told him I had to actually stream too. He's trying to help though. Can't blame on that. And the puzzle is done. It is upside down. No, please don't tell me I have to rearrange everything. No, I have to, don't I? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to meet with you again. The game can't freaking flip it around for me. No, I have to do it manually. Oh, this sucks! Kill me! Where did I make a boo-boo? That's where I made a boo-boo. Okay. Let me get my corner that I missed. Okay. Now flip this malarkey around. Who's this lovely lady, I wonder? This is probably Violet. I don't think this is Dahlia. And puzzle solved! This painting is truly brilliant. It simply must go on my wall. By the way, Luke, I have a present for you to mark this occasion. It's the puzzle! Turn off your Nintendo DS once, then restart the game. At the title screen, select bonuses, and you should have a new challenge from me. Now I know you're excited about your present. Be sure to save before you restart your DS. Otherwise, you have to do this stupid malarkey all over again. The art lover's house has been added to your map. Huh. Okay. Mysteries. Okay, that's all that. So we can actually. Well, first let's save. Because I don't want to do that again. We're gonna find the rest of these puzzles. And that's right, that Spinny's feel is exactly how I feel. Now, it's the famous game of clicking like a madman. Oh, I didn't even bother talking to you. Oh, hello there, Professor. Have you had any luck tracking down that ruffian? I did, and I don't care about you. Bye! Oh! Maybe puzzle here? Oh, look, Professor. I found a hidden puzzle. Also, exactly what you needed to do to the puzzle. Painting. Yeah, just... Woo! The Pet Hotel. A town not far from your home recently opened a ritzy hotel for pets. Can you guess what kind of animal is currently relaxing in room 097? Move 2 matches to form the answer on the screen below. What does this look like? What kind of animal is 3 words? Dog, cat, what other animals are 3 words? Ram. Alright, dog and cat seem to be the most obvious. So... It's cat! C-A-T. Cat. Yeah!
How does this sound? I did it! Yes!
Very nice. Ah, to be a pampered pet. Unfortunately, pampered pets get it too good because they annoy the living hell out of you. Like my cat. No matter how much you pet her, give her all the love in the world, it is never enough. It is now so bad that whenever she hangs out with me and I have my tablet on, or I'm playing my Switch or something, she'll constantly headbutt the tablet out from my lap, or the Nintendo Switch from my hands, and then just plop down on her back and want pets. That's how bad it is! Nothing good can be said about that tower. There's all sorts of scary. You should stay away. Too late! I already took care of all that malarkey. Do you have one for me, maybe? It is my constant vigilance that lets Lady Dahlia live comfortably in this village. You see her, I strongly advise letting her know how hard I've been working. Actually, is there anything in here that is a puzzle? No, I don't want to talk to you again, you frickin' nerd! Get out of here, you frickin' Nigel Thornberry! I was gonna say a British Nigel Thornberry, but I'm pretty sure Nigel Thornberry is British! Smashing! Where else haven't we looked? I thought I did this. Oh, look, another candle, Luke. That reminds me, have you heard of this one before? Oh, there's another candle puzzle. Light which one? You have only 1 match left. You want to light the room with an oil lamp, start a fire to warm the room, and heat your bath water. In order to complete all the above actions, which of these should you light first? Oh! Trick question! In order to complete all the above actions, which of these should you light first? You should obviously light the match first.
I think I've got it.
Not getting me this time, game. No, no, no. Naughty, naughty. That's right. The first thing you need to light is the match itself. Without a fire source, how could you possibly start to take care of the lamp, bathwater, or fireplace? I would also like to know, how the hell are you going to warm up a bathtub with a match? I mean, the only thing I could say is if you put a pot in the fireplace, heat up the boiling water, and then put it in the bathtub. But even then, you're going to burn your ass. You're going to burn your nublets. Wonderful work, Luke. That is indeed the answer. I don't see anyone minding the shop at the moment. Perhaps we should leave for now. Pine bed. Get a Luke. Guess what, Luke? You have 2 beds. And realizing that now, I think I'm going to move a bed over. This is just to teach you how to move stuff over. Oh! If they're both satisfied with things they have, then something good happens. Yeah, he's got 2 beds. Let's, move that over. Also, I'm wondering if things are color-coded. Like, blue for blue and brownish for brownish? There are fire-powered baths. Well, in Japan, don't they have these big outdoor jug things that you actually light a campfire underneath them to heat them up? I don't know what you would call them, though. Also, I'm not going to do anything with this yet, not until I get all the items. Ooh, what's this? Those candies look absolutely scrumptious, don't they? Luke, those candies just gave me a splendid idea for a puzzle. Have a listen to this. Well, sadly, I have to go now and do some morning chores. Good luck finishing your cases, Detective Lloyd. It's fun. And I'm glad it helped you wake up for the morning, Ruru. I hope your chores go okay, and I'm glad you were able to stop by for a while. Candy jars. You have 10 jars filled with 50 pieces of candy each. You then pour the candy into small bags and attempt to get half a jar in each bag. Now you have 20 bags of candy. What is the percentage likelihood that there are an average of 25 pieces of candy in a single sack? Huh. This is some weird half math, half RNG? 10 jars filled with 50 pieces of candy each. You then pour the candy into small bags and attempt to get half a jar in each bag. Now you have 20 bags of candy. So that would mean you would have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 20, 40, 60, 80. Alright. Yeah, so 10 jars with 50 pieces of candy each. You have a total of 1,000 jars of candy at the start. You then pour the candy into small bags and attempt to get half a jar in each bag. Now you have 20 bags of candy. Okay. So 20 bags with 50 pieces of candy each would be a calculator! Yeah. You have 50 pieces of candy in the 20 bags. Ten times 50 is not 1,000. Oh, yeah, sorry. 10 jars filled with 50 pieces of candy each. That is 500. Wow. That is embarrassing. I am very sorry. I'm very sorry. Oh, dear. You then pour the candy into small bags and attempt to get half a jar in each bag. Now you have 20 bags of candy. So 500 divided by the 20 bags equals 25 pieces of candy in each bag. What is the percentage likelihood that there are an average of 25 pieces of candy in a single sack? Very good, because 500 divided by 20 bags equals 25 pieces of candy in each. So the percentage would be like 100? It's 100%. And it says average of 25 pieces of candy in a single sack, so that would only further confirm.
I think I've got it.
Got it!
Professor,
Thank you for catching that, Jet. I would have been very wrong at the very start to the very end. Very good. You had 50 pieces of candy in 10 jars, giving you a total of 500 pieces of candy. You divided 500 pieces into 20 bags. So if the course of mathematical average of this will be 25 pieces of candy. Yay. Speaking of candy, I still have Christmas candy, hard candy, on top of my mini refrigerator, and I actually took a piece of it yesterday, and it's still good. There we are. Once you discern what the question is saying, the problem is a rather simple one, isn't it? Hey! The last gizmo piece! I'm pretty sure it's the last gizmo piece. Here. Mechanical doggo! There we are. The little robot dog is finally assembled. Now we just have to name the rascal. I have a feeling he'll come in quite handy. By the way, Luke, I have a present for you to mark this occasion. Turn off your Nintendo DS once, then restart the game. Let the title screen select bonuses. You should have a new challenge from me. Now I know you're excited about your present, but be sure to save before you restart your DS. Lane's challenge is the Inventor's House has been added to your map. Please enter your dog's name. Ooh! What do I get to name Little Tyke? Let's see, I named a baby Nugget, so anything's possible. You know what? It's a machine. It's a dog. I think only one name fits. Does it fit? G-O... Crap. Nope. D... Hey, I hope I'm spelling it right. Ah! Come on! Oh my god, before it was F, now I can't do an A? A! No, it's like the previous stream all over again! Come on! I'm a good puzzle solver. I don't deserve this crap! No, God, I want to spell Goddard. Why can't you just give me a keyboard? Why do I have to actually do it this way? Oh, yes, the robot dog. God. No, come on! I am not leaving until I get this A down, you son of a bitch game. Why does it keep saying it's a U? It's not a U. You know what? Negative! Good to see you! Oh, good eye! And Negative, thank you for the raid. Let me give you a quick shout out, buddy. Right now, we're solving the puzzle of why I can't insert a freaking letter!
There's a toad here, yes.
Sans!
Did you say Sans? Oh, just got done with X Zodiac. I never heard of that game before. Is it fun? You know what? There's your A! Goddard! Holy crap! Never again! Oh, and I hope your day's been well. Right now, we're finishing up the last bits and pieces of Professor Layton. Yes, he's got full capital letters except for one letter because he's an archaic dog. Let's go with that mentality, shall we? It's a spiritual successor to Star Fox. The publishers gifted me a copy before it's even released. Ooh! Ooh, when was the last Star Fox game released, even? Like a new one? Oh! Doggy? Something here? As for that Star Fox, the newest one was probably for the 3DS, I think? There's gotta be something here. The dog's here. So what am I missing? I mean, the photos are nice, but that's not what I'm looking for. Oh! Maybe that was it. Just a hit coin. Are you still looking for ladies? Yep, you are. But you do not have a puzzle. Ooh, I did find 2 coins. Nice. Nothing in here. Maybe Dahlia has something? Nope, she just wants to be left alone. Boo to her. Also, my dog is not going off, so I'm going to say there's nothing else in there. So we can actually go in the other direction now for town. Well, one could argue it was Starlink, Battle for Atlas. Starlink? Hold on, going to Google. Starlink. Oh! Oh wow, even Star Fox makes a cameo in this game. Huh. Interesting. Though not by style of game, it does look interesting. It was a joke. Sorry. Well, hey, cameo's a cameo. At least they don't forget that he exists. Alright, nothing from him. Anything from her? Because I think I ever got one puzzle from her. Ah! How about in here? You probably don't have anything because I had the chest. Yeah, I finished all the chest stuff. Anything from you? Nope, you're fresh. Fresh out. At least I got a coin, so that's good. So nothing in there. Maybe the amusement park has something. Oh! Goddard! Nice! Thank you! Here? Hey! Good dog! You are not just a bucket of bolts. You are actually incredibly useful. Too bad you only seem to find coins, not puzzles. I would definitely love to have a puzzle tracker too with all this crad. Ah, I forgot. No Ferris wheel? Oh, I was looking forward to riding the Ferris wheel. Well, that Ferris wheel almost killed you. Hey! Something here. Nice. Okay. Something over here. Come on. Yeah! I don't want to go down there yet. Not till I'm done searching around here. Okay. Nothing. I know there's not much down here. It's just a little narrow path. Oh, wow. I wasn't even expecting that. Nice. Anything in here I may have missed? I think I did. Look at how old this picture is. Oh, right. That reminds me of a good one. Would you like to hear it? Yes! Puzzle! Number 91. Pattern matching. The large shape below is made up of a pattern. A section of the shape has been removed. Of the options A, B, C, and D, which one should you insert into the large shape to complete the pattern? Circle, square... Oh, actually, this is kind of easy. Because, you can just go diagonal. They all line up perfect. So, I'm going to... Oh, I see what they're doing here. You're going to have to rotate. Well, immediately, I know we're going to need 2 blues. Here and here. So, I think... it's this one here? I think you need to turn it around, though. Yeah, because that will be the X will be up here, the square will be here, the circle will be here, then that. Yep, B.
That should do it.
Lovely.
Another puzzle solved.
Very nice. Excellent. It's really just a matter of finding the right matching pattern. But staring at all those different pieces and trying to find one that fits is more complex than what we think. Or, you know, just look at the perfect rows of a single shape. That'll tell you wonders of what a puzzle is. Gee, I didn't think it was that easy. Bone china teacup. Get late. Still working on getting some of those items. Alright, now we can get out of here, and we're gonna check the sewers. Because I wonder if that one worker guy is down there. Maybe he's got more puzzles. We're at 106. That means there's 14 left around here. Oh, it's you two lads again. You're a pair of odd ducks coming all this way just to see me. Lucky for you, I've got myself a darling of a puzzle and a mind to share it with you. Nice! My instincts were correct. Number 92. Wash up. Oh, boy. You need to wash your face, but all 13 water valves in the sewer piping are shut tight. You have to open the valves to get the water flowing to your sink. Fire the plumber who set up this monstrosity of a system. So here's your challenge. Direct the water all the way to your sink by opening as few valves as possible. God, this looks ugly. So all these are closed right now. As few as possible, too. So following the route... Open... 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 Open? That's 4. So, is there any way I can do this? Yes, there is. So go this way, open the valve here, runs through here. Then down here, and then here. So it should only be the 3. No matter what, you gotta open something up here. And then you have to open up here. So no matter what, that's always gonna be 2. And if anything comes from here... Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute! Hold up on everything! Work backwards. Go from here. Follow this pipe. Alright, wait a minute. Yeah, from there to here. Ignore that. Yeah, so it goes from here to here. Still 3. I'm wondering if there's any way that there's 2. Negative's got it! Right now, there's 3. Is there any way to get it to maybe 2? Valve open, and then valve open here. Because instead I would have ended up going here, which would have been 4. So I'm gonna try this.
That should do it.
Crap!
Oh.
The pipes are a mess, but give it another look anyway. So it's not that. So there's probably... Direct the water all the way to your sink by open... Alright, it's not a trick question. I was wondering if I could just move this over to the water and it would have given it to me. I think I stay away with 2. Alright, see if I can find it. So, immediately, this pathway is going to be a no-go. Do that there. No. I tried there. Yep, I see it. Ah, damn it, why don't I? And these are usually fun, too, these kind of puzzles. So what am I missing here? Wait a minute. There and there. There we go.
That should do it.
Nice.
Every puzzle has an answer.
Ooh, you guys beat me to the punch, but at least I was able to get to it. Good job. Now go wash up. That's right. You heard what the game says. Everyone here, wash up. Haha, wonderful work. I was sure the puzzle would floor the both of you, but I guess the joke's on me. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. Do you have another puzzle for me, maybe? It's hard to sneak away from the job when you're above ground, as everyone can see you plain as day. I don't want to wash with sewer water. If I ever want to rest on the job, this is the only place I can go. And be good lads and no go blabbing this to Rodney. As long as we don't wash out? What? Stash and Scarfin! Do you have anything? No, you don't. Damn it! Oh! I forgot there was a way out this way. Oh! Good doggy! Where is it? Yay! I didn't know I could click on them. There's a great view of the entrance to the village from here. There's my lovely little automobile. It seems unharmed. Don't worry, Professor. No one would even dream of stealing the Layton Mobile. Uh-oh. Just what do you mean by that, Luke? It's like your car is so ugly, no one will even take it. Although, I really like little compact cars like that. We used to have a RAV4. Oh, look, Professor, I found a hidden puzzle. Holy crap! I didn't even mean to do that. Nice! Number 120, get the ball out. We all know this puzzle. Son of a gun, why can't you just rip the ball out? Alright, so far, so... Oh, crunch. Urgh. Crap. Damn it! So a washout is someone who has failed at something. Luke dissing the Layton Mobile. That's what I was referring to. Oh, I never heard that before. I learned something new today. Problem is, where do I start this puzzle at? Okay. Good. I guess not good. Okay. That's actually also good. I can actually move you all the way down there. Washed up person is someone who washed out, if you've heard of the former. I've heard of washed up, yes, but I never heard of washed out. Like you're all washed up. Maybe it's an area thing. That did absolutely nothing. I feel like I made some decent progress, but not quite there yet. Like, there's only so much you can move around at the start. Then I wouldn't be able to move anywhere else, so I think that's out. Moves the ball there. I feel like I'm on the right track here. I said that before, and look where it had gotten me. Okay. stuck here. Still stuck. Urgh. Very little room to work with here. You have a choice but to cover that up. All right, that's different. Okay, we got a different angle. Good. Maybe this will come of something. Oh, okay. I have a really good feeling I am close now. Now, if I can get this over to here, we'll be golden. We'll be golden grams. Just like this.
How does this sound?
Yeah!
I did it! Yes!
Excellent. In addition to having that bothersome yellow block in the way, those purple and blue blocks proved to be quite a pain, didn't they? I may as well just say all the blocks were annoying. It may have been frustrating to solve, but don't you feel good now? What a relief. Don't you feel accomplished? Don't you feel like you matter in this world? Of course you don't. You're spending your time playing a video game. Alright. 12 to go. Alright, nothing there. What about the girl? Nope, nothing with the girl. Maybe you. It's been a while since I had talked to you. Are you here to take another look at my desk? No. Unless I missed a puzzle at the desk itself? Nope. Nothing's popping up. Alright. Next area. Also, this guy that was serving the bar here only showed up once. He should be at least hanging around here. Get some more presents. Maybe not get any more lines, but at least have some presents. And not the gift kind, I mean the actually existing kind. Oh yeah, I forgot. I skipped a puzzle, which also means I skipped the puzzle by the clock tower. Crap! A number of 5-sided shapes are hidden within the picture below. How many can you find? 5-sided shapes. This is when I need hints, and I have the coins to burn. There are no equilateral pentagons within the shape, so all the ones you do find will have at least 2 sides with different lengths. Count each one you spot. Count every 5-sided shape you could find. Each pentagon you spot can be reproduced on a different section of the picture by rotating the image 90 degrees. That means that for every type of pentagon you find, you've actually found 4 more pentagons. Surround the square in the middle of the picture with triangles from within the picture to make different pentagons. Make a special effort to look for pentagons formed by attaching multiple triangles to the square in the picture. These are usually the hardest to spot. Guess what? I am not dealing with this malarkey. As they would say, time to cheat. The answer is 12. And I figured that out all on my own. And when I say all on my own, I mean all on my own with my skill of how to use the internet.
Another puzzle solved.
3 different types of pentagons are hidden in this picture. Since each shape can face 4 different directions, you have a total of 12 unique pentagons. That is a gross puzzle. What cunning lads you two are. I hope you'll stop by and solve puzzles with me again sometime. Does that mean you have another one? Sorry, Sonny, I don't have any more puzzles for you right now. Yeah, that answers that question. Alright, Gloth. What do you got? I've got it all figured out, you know. The best times in life are when you're eating good food. Alright, so anything in here? I do have to agree, though, when you're sitting down with loved ones and family and you're eating good food, that is like one of the best times you can have. I wish I'd have more of them with some people. Oh, nice. Anything else here? It seems that Destiny has decided that I show you this puzzle. Will you triumph, or will you be gaping maw of fate swallow you whole? Number 75, the wire cube. You want to create a cube out of metal wiring using the fewest number of wires possible. You can bend each wire as many times as you like, but no portion of the cube can have more than one length of wire running over the same edge. Don't worry about how one wire will connect to the next, because you'll use a soldering iron later on. What is the fewest number of wires required to complete the task described above? I think it's 2. Because you can do that, 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 there. Then wire here, 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 here. Hold on. If it's 2, I need to do this correctly. Yeah, it's too much. There is a way to do this with 2. I just need to get the line right. I can't have it fully connect. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Hold on, I can get this. I know it's possible with just 2. It's just trying to do this as a 3-dimensional figure is not the easiest thing in the world. Think, Lloyd, think. You know what? I'm gonna take a chance. I was gonna say 2.
Luke, here's my answer. Oh. How
Alright, so if
embarrassing.
it's not 2, then my gut then is now saying 3. I wasn't sure if I was doing it right, but I guess you will need, like, a small thing of a third wire to get it going.
That should do it.
What?
I suppose I thought wrong.
Is it 4?
That should do it.
It's 4. It's a lot. It's double than what I thought.
Puzzle has an
How?
answer.
Okay. 3 straight lines make up each of the cube's 8 corners. At least 1 wire must terminate at each corner. Since there are 8 corners, you'll need 8 wire ends to form things properly. Each wire has 2 ends, so the total number of wires needed is 4. Yeah, so no matter how you do it, it's gonna... You have to worry about the stray corners, so... That's what I was screwing up with. Goodness, I can't believe you solved it. It was meant to be. I tell you what, since you went and solved my puzzle, I'll read your palm. Give me your hand now. It seems like Calamity follows you wherever you go. Try your best to stay out of harm's way. Globe. Good luck, Luke. Doo-doo-doo. Sure, I can't interest you in a nice cut of veal. Oh yeah, he still wants me to have the veal. Where haven't I gone yet? That's where I came from. Anything... Oh! Got a coin! Nice! I still have to remember, though, we gotta go back to that clock. So you want some company to go with you to the tower? Some feminine company? Not you! No thank you, I think we're fine just as is. Ugh. Oh! Thank you! Hello. Oh, it's that hidden puzzle we saw earlier. Why? What was this one? Painting a cube. Oh, the colors. In front of you sits a blank paper cube that you've decided to paint. You need to paint the cubes that all faces that touch are different colors. Using 3 colors of paint, how many ways can you paint the cubes that satisfy the above condition? Each painting scheme should be a different pattern, not just the same pattern with the colors rearranged. Also assume that you can't leave any sides of the square blank. Yeah, because there's red, blue, green, and then you have ways of mixing the colors to make purple, green, and orange. So that would become 6. Six?
Well, here's my guess.
Nah, figured it wouldn't be that
I've
simple.
let you down, Professor.
All rotated or color swap versions of a particular painting scheme count as the same pattern. Don't count them as separate patterns when tallying up the total number of possible solutions. Painting a cube. Oh, that time again. Time to go to Google. Oh! Okay, so no matter what, I was going to be having problems with this. They don't count mixing colors. It's only one. There's only one way to do it.
How does this sound?
I would have been here forever, slamming my head in my own computer desk.
Apprentice saves the day.
If you have to paint the cube with 3 colors, then your only choice is to paint opposing sides of the cube the same color. As seen in the diagram above, even if you were to change where you use each color, rotating the cube proves that you're really just reusing the same area of painting opposing sides the same color. There's only one unique way to color this cube using 3 paints. Except, you can combine some of the paints to make new colors. I don't like this puzzle. It was not specific enough, saying that you couldn't mix. Because that would totally increase the possibilities. Definitely not a fan. Alright, there wasn't anything in here because that was the tower. So let's head back. Now we're gonna go to the clock tower. This one. Digital digits. This one was the one that immediately stumped me on the first stream of this game. Imagine a digital clock like the one shown below. How many times will the clock display 3 or more of the same number in a row over the course of one day? In case you were wondering, the clock in this puzzle displays time on a 12-hour scale, not on military time. I have the coins to burn, let's burn them. As mentioned earlier, this digital clock works on a 12-hour display system. This means I'll cycle through the numbers twice a day. Therefore, before you submit your answer, you need to double the number of times you found to account for AM and PM. You probably have already picked up on combinations like 111 and 222, but finding the less obvious combinations is what makes up the real meat of this problem. Did you, for example, remember to include the time 10 o'clock? It's not that I missed it, it's I skipped it because I didn't like the question. 1222 is another combination that's easy to overlook. Also, have you thought about 1112? Be sure to take a look at the various combinations that follow the above time as well. Okay. So let's see. 10 o'clock. So that comes up twice. Alright. I should be able to write on here, yes. So let's do this. 10 o'clock. Times with a clock display 3 or more of the same number in a row over the course of one day. Because there's the whole 1110 all the way to 1119, and then there's 12 to 0, and then it goes all the way to 1229. Then we start getting to 1 o'clock. Fortunately, I don't have to do this twice because I can just double the end number. So, 111. And this is easier because there's no 4th digit. And then there's 222, 333, 444, and 555. It does not go in military time, so I don't have to go any further than that. And there's not going to be a 000 at all. So 1220 doesn't have 3 in a row. 1, 2, 2. Oh! Oh, yeah, you're right. 1, 2, 2, 2 does. Oh! That means this is completely oblivious. Scratch that out. $12.22. But the 11 through 11:19 is true because you're still going to have all those ones. Good eyes, guys. I totally whooshed over that one. Let's see. Just trying to think now with other numbers. Because then you get to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. None of that exists because the numbers over here only go between 0 and 5. They don't go to 6. So, with that in mind, that would be 1, 2, actually 11:10 to 11:19 would be 11:10, 13. That's 10 right there for this one. This makes 11. This makes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And because there's an AM and PM, you double the number and that becomes 34. There are 34 times that this happens. From what I get, anyway. So, let's try. There are 34.
How does this sound?
Yeah!
Professor, I've solved it.
Wow, 3,700 right on the dot. Very good. A series of 3 or more of the same digit appears 34 times over the course of 24 hours. See the chart above for details. It's easy enough to spot times like 111 or 222, but many people forget about combinations like 10 o'clock or 11:12. Precisely the answer I was looking for, Luke. Well done, my boy. Nice. Alright. I went everywhere, and I'm still missing 8 puzzles. So maybe Granny can tell me. Why, howdy. Do you often find... blah, 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 blah. I already know all this. I want you to tell me where some of them are. There's nothing in here. It's empty. Like my love life. Totally empty. Oh! Thank you, Robot Doggy. Okay. This spits me out back here. Oh, it's the same stuff. Fudge. Who's the fudge? Let's head back to the manor. So I don't know where else I could find... What? Huh? Look, there's a hole in that boat there. Oh, Professor, that reminds me. Have you ever heard the one about the sinking ship? Did I never click on the boat? SOS. 15 people are trapped aboard a ship that's going to sink in exactly 20 minutes. There's only chance for survival is the 5-person life raft stowed on their vessel. To make matters worse, the waters around the ship are teeming with man-eating sharks, so swimming to safety is out of the question. A round trip to the nearest island and back to the boat takes 9 minutes on the raft. How many people will live to see dry land? A round trip to the nearest island and back. The boat takes 9 minutes. The problem, though, is when 5 people get on a boat, one person's gonna have to come back. So 5 go to an island, but then it becomes 4 because one person has to go back. Which then they get another 4 people, and that makes a 9-minute marker right there. 9 minutes. And then we go back again to drop off another 4 people. That becomes 8. Then a person comes back off the boat. Pick up another 4 people. This makes 18 minutes. And then they drop off another 4. Which that becomes a total of 12. But the person on the boat gets off because there's not enough time to go back. This makes 13 people. So to sum this up, 5 people initially get on the boat, and then 4 make it on land because one person comes back to steer the boat. Picks up 4 people, goes back, drops off the 4, which makes 8. Then goes back again, picks up 4, goes back, drops another 4 off, which makes 12. Not enough time then to pick up the other 2, which that one person gets off the boat themselves, which makes 13. So the answer is 13 people.
That should do it.
Yeah!
Another puzzle solved.
Nicely done. A moment of silence for the 2 who didn't make it, please. Or, you know, they could ride the sharks. Or take some of the ship debris and paddle. Be creative, people. Wow, great answer, Professor. It took me 5 times as long to get that one. Sharks get such a bad rep. They don't usually attack people like that. Agreed. Like, it's usually if they're super hungry or, like, their hunting grounds are not doing well. Anything here? But if one person was really damn strong, they could just give the lifeboat one damn good push. Agreed. Or at the very least, well, no. If they're at the 18-minute mark, no matter how fast the person on the boat's gonna row to get those 2 people at least on the boat, he's not gonna make it. Ooh, I am running out of spots to check. And we are still missing 7 puzzles. Again, I wish my Goddard friend would point me to the puzzles I'm missing. Alright, let's do one quick scan around. If I don't find anything else, I think that might be it. Oh! Doggo! Where is it? Doggy? Hello? You borked? There you are! I was like, you definitely borked at me. Actually, let me go back in the store. Maybe there's something new. Nikes! Nothing. Da-dum. Do-do-do. Na-na-na. Not that. I don't want to be Riddletons. You are useless to me now. Found a coin. But still no puzzle. Nothing here. Nope. Nada. Yeah, I found like very few puzzles in this place. Come on! Anything! Jeez! Nothing. Ah, he's gonna say that he wanted to ride the Ferris wheel. Yeah. Damn. Oh! Here? Hey! Nice. Nothing. Nothing here. Alright, I'll check the back part of town. If nothing, then this could take a moment. Yeah! Sorry. You might be all puzzled out. Unless the remainder of the puzzles are from the bonus. I am finding hint coins galore, so that's good. Man, I wish I made this dog a lot sooner. Alright, there was nothing here because that led to the tower. I hate to say this. I think we're empty-handed. I don't want to talk to you, doughboy. Meh. Damn. I believe this is where we are finished. With Professor Layton and the Curious Village. I just have a nice little gander at the stream. Oh! And I got a coin. Nice. So I'm going to save here. And the next one will be the Diabolical Box, but I don't know when I'm going to stream that one. So, let us find a raid target for the night. I think it's time we surprise Sile! Alright, so, all done with this game. And the next one will be Jet's game, which I'll be adding onto the schedule. Which is the Star Ocean game. So, look forward to that. And next time I will be streaming will be probably tomorrow. So, have a great day, everyone, and a great night, and I will see you all in the next stream.